What comes to your mind when you think about China? Well, a few years ago, you might have thought about cheap products. However, China just recently caught the world's attention when it rattled the American stock market and everything ChatGPT stands for with the release of DeepSeek. Not only that, but the country has also somehow managed to create the highest grossing animated film of all time. Oh, and how can we forget about China's sudden rise in the gaming industry too? But want to know something even crazier? It's all connected and planned. No, seriously, China might just leave the United States of America in the dust within a few decades. And this is how. Let's first talk about the animated bomb China just dropped that literally dethroned Disney by outgrossing The Lion King, Jurassic World, and Inside Out 2 combined. We're talking about Ne Zha 2. This movie is based on a 16th century Chinese legend, and it's the story of a rebellious demon kid and his dragon best friend, Ao Bing, literally sharing a body while battling destiny and angry gods, put together with some crazy bathroom humor. The first film in 2019 was a hit, sure, but this sequel? It dropped during Lunar New Year, when families flooded the theaters. Now add state media hype, word-of-mouth wildfire, and visuals that would make Pixar blush, and boom, $1 billion in 8 days. Disney's Frozen 2 needed 33 days to hit that. But the real hero here is director Zhao Zi, a dude who ditched med school to animate his childhood dreams. His dad passed away while he was broke, living off his mom's $150 a month salary. Then in 2009, his anti-war short film, See Through, went viral. And today, he's the mastermind behind a franchise that's basically China's Avengers. The plot is dense for sure. We're talking about ancient dynasties, soul-sharing immortality exams. But the secret is that the film doesn't take itself too seriously. It's filled with fart jokes and dragon kings throwing tantrums. And yet it's deep. You'll often find themes of rebellion, identity, and friendship hitting harder than the movie's punchlines. And of course, Hollywood's scratching its head thinking, why is this working? It's pretty simple actually. China's Gen Z and Gen Alpha crave their own heroes. Not just Mickey or Elsa, but legends steeped in their own bloodline, retold with anime-level fight scenes and Pixar-level emotional depth. Director Zhao Zi didn't set out to beat Disney, but the way he fused his idols, Miyazaki, Jackie Chan, and Dragon Ball Z into something new, audiences can't help but strive for more. But Ne Zha 2 isn't just a Chinese win. It's racking up millions overseas too. Will it conquer America? Maybe not yet. The Taoist themes are chewy for Westerners. But, as one critic put it, this isn't a rivalry, it's a wake-up call. Stories rooted in culture, not algorithms, can move billions. So while Disney might not be doomed yet, the game's changed for sure. China's proving you don't need fairy godmothers when you got a demon child. A director like Zhao Zi, and 5,000 years of stories waiting to explode. And personally speaking, I'm here for the chaos. China's actual strength comes from its unique ability to merge its rich cultural heritage with modern technological advancements. This fusion is especially evident in the gaming industry. A decade ago, Western titles like GTA 5 and The Witcher 3 defined the global gaming conversation. But today, Chinese games are setting the standard. It all began with Genshin Impact, a seemingly free-to-play game that made billions of dollars worth of revenue. And now we have titles like Black Myth Wukong. But let's rewind for a bit and actually talk about the release of Genshin Impact by miHoYo in 2020. When it dropped as a $3.5 billion cultural nuke. And what's crazy is that 70% of its revenue came from overseas. Genshin Impact literally cast a spell on gamers worldwide, with its operatic boss battles, floating mountains, and Jianje swords, all put together with philosophy so deep you'd have to take a course to fully understand it. But miHoYo didn't stop at that, and they weaponized culture to whatever extent they could, introducing stuff like a virtual Chinese New Year party and Liyu's Lantern Rite Festival, and as expected, players ate it up. Then came the game that made Fortnite look basic, Naraka Blade Point. This martial art madness was dropped by 24 studios in 2021, and with its crazy grapple hooks, katana combos, and sick outfits, The game took only a couple of months to sell 10 million copies. So basically before Wukong came swinging his staff, China's gaming scene was already exploding, and underdogs like Genshin Impact and Naraka Blade Point rewrote the rules, turning Made in China from a meme into a movement. And China's gaming boom wasn't even some government master plan. Sure, China didn't hate the soft power win, but the games they put out are just actual good propaganda-free games. MiHoYo's CEO said they built Genshin for love, not politics, and Wukong's creators, their motto was make it cool for us first. And that just goes to show how contagious passion really is. China's not taking over gaming, but has definitely joined the party, and honestly speaking, the party's never been this cool. So yeah, Black Myth Wukong is not just some fluke. It's the climax of a revolution started by Genshin's Wanderers and Naraka Blade Point dancers. Developed by the independent Chinese studio Game Science, Black Myth offers a fresh take on the classic 16th century novel Journey to the West, utilizing modern next-gen technology. The game offers engaging Souls-like combat combined with cinematic storytelling, all within a beautifully crafted world influenced by ancient Chinese mythology. The reality of what makes Wukong so groundbreaking isn't really just technical excellence, though. It's how the developers have reimagined iconic Chinese folklore and brought it to a global audience, introducing the whole world to mythical creatures, legendary heroes, and spiritual philosophies that build up China as it is today. With its innovative gameplay mechanics, rich narrative roots, and mind-boggling graphics, Black Myth Wukong not only represents China's growing influence in the gaming sector, but also proves that the future of gaming will be shaped by Eastern narratives as much as it's been by Western ones. And with more ambitious Chinese titles emerging on the horizon, it's safe to say that this might just be the beginning, since the nation's producing titles that not only compete on a global scale, but actually dominate, with the kind of visuals one would expect from the world's best studios. However, aside from games, platforms such as RedNote, which is China's version of TikTok, are gaining popularity, particularly as global platforms face regulatory challenges. As the US struggles with bans and limitations, millions are turning to this Chinese alternative that offers a space for creativity without any sort of compromise. If you think RedNote is just another short-form video app, you're wrong. It's a whole new ecosystem, one that's integrated with AI recommendations, digital storefronts, and smooth content creation tools. It's social media, shopping, and entertainment all in one, and it's gaining momentum. As Western platforms struggle with legislation, data privacy concerns, and user fatigue, RedNote has been carving out a new niche, offering what feels like the next phase of the internet. But it doesn't stop there. China's tech dominance extends far beyond social media. AI, semiconductors, and quantum computing, these are the battlegrounds of the future, and China's playing the long game. Look at DeepSeek, China's answer to ChatGPT. It's not just another chatbot. It's a signal that China isn't content to follow in AI development. It wants to lead. While the West debates AI ethics and regulatory policies, China is rapidly iterating. In the same way that it transformed its manufacturing sector into the world's powerhouse, it's now doing the same with AI. Companies like Tencent, Baidu, and Alibaba are pouring billions into R&D, and their progress is accelerating at an alarming rate. But here's the kicker. It's all connected. The rise of Ne Zha 2, Genshin Impact, and Black Myth Wukong isn't just about entertainment. It's a cultural shift. The same way Hollywood and Silicon Valley shaped the global narratives for decades, China's now crafting its own. It's building a world where its legends, technology, and stories become as iconic as anything produced in the West. What does that mean for the future? The truth is, China isn't just competing, it's setting the pace. While the rest of the world is playing catch-up, China is building the infrastructure, the technology, and the cultural momentum that could define the next century. Whether it's AI, gaming, or storytelling, one thing is clear. The future isn't just made in China. It's being written there.